I don't know. Matt, are you an employee or are you a veteran?
Could be both here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You could be both. You could be a lot of things here at VetComm. Okay, we are live, it looks like, on Facebook and YouTube, and all of our staff who loves me so much. So much, except for Nikki. Everyone else.
Matt's a new customer.
I love that. Hello, Matt. Hello. I love that. Okay. Okay, are we live on TikTok and Instagram?
We are.
We are? Okay. We'll let everybody hop on in. It always takes a couple of minutes to get everybody going. And to everybody on Zoom, if there's anything that you guys think that I should cover for everybody watching today, you can put it in the chat. That way I don't miss any opportunity to share the good news of VetComm.
Can you open up TikTok on your phone?
I can't open TikTok on my phone and type and write. Okay. Here we go. I'm only one lady. There you go. Okay. All right. We will let people get on.
We got some people on TikTok already.
Hello, people on TikTok, TikTok universe. Do we have anybody on from
YouTube?
From YouTube yet?
Not yet, but we are live.
We are live.
Crystal says not having records are always a...
Yes, not having records. I'm going to cover that one. We'll probably end up covering it a bit.
Some people hopping on the YouTube. Richard says hello, and Louise says MFH for veterans overseas.
Jade, I have your team set up for the first. Would love for you to set into my meeting. I would love to, Jade, except for that is this lady's birthday, and I may not be in the office. I don't know yet, but I will keep you posted. Have you helped vets with MS before? We have helped. You would not believe the absolute crazy stuff we help vets with. As long as your MS was caused by something in service, some exposure that you had, we absolutely can help really anything. You would not believe. Sometimes veterans bring us stuff that even we're like, what? And then we all round table it and we find a pathway in to get you covered for that. So here's the thing that I like about VetComm. We are one of the few organizations that's always trying to find a way in instead of a way out. A lot of times when you call up a company, they're trying to find a way out of helping you. They're like, that's not really what we do. No, thanks. But we're constantly here roundtabling issues, trying to find a way in for you because that's our job. If what we're talking to you about is, hey, you come here and we're going to make things easy, then we should probably be making things easy. Jack Litwinski, that's quite the last name, says, can anyone get 100% and still work? Everyone is who 100% PNT can still work. And if you are not PNT, you can earn up to basically the poverty line. I would really like to see, though, even those of you that are 100, if you're not PNT, there's probably a reason, and you might want to get a strategy call with us because that means that something that you're rated for, they think is likely to shift and they haven't made it permanent yet. There's not enough like body to some of your things. So, anybody that's watching now, if you'd like to have a strategy call with VetComm, I would call or text 858-360-2227. That's 858-360-2227. There are people on while I'm live. And everyone watching, just know that if you decide to participate with VetComm and you become a VetComm customer, it's good for you if you're live because we're going to put you on a list today that you were here with us, and we're going to give you a fairly substantial discount on our already discounted price. So again, you want to text us at 858-360-2227. We're also monitoring all of the separate chats to respond to you. But if you want to direct route in, get in line early today, that 858-360-2227 works. I also have, hello, I've never submitted anything to the VA. Are you able to help with initial claims? Not having any luck with the DAV. So we help with every kind of claim because the way that we work is very different than if you go to the DAV, the Legion, the VFW. The difference between us and them is that instead of doing it for you, we're going to do it with you. right? We're going to get into va.gov with you. We're going to share screen. We're going to take a full inventory of what you have, upload all of your documents, make sure that what we put in all those boxes is correct, prepare you for every single thing. The thing that we do here, well, I feel, is getting that inventory down, making the correct amount of substance in that 400 character box, and then also preparing you for the exam. That's the winning strategy. So I started with the DAV. It took about 18 months. I went from 0 to 70, and that was all fine and well. But what about the year I waited to get my records? So I waited a year to get the records, and then it took another 18 months for me to get to 70%. Here, we are getting people, our average time to rating is 4 months. That's very fast. That's faster than the way everyone else does it. And because we do it in the va.gov system, if you go to a free source, they're going to do a paper claim likely. That paper claim's going to then get faxed. When's the last time anybody here faxed something? Probably haven't done it much. So it's going to get faxed. It's going to get received on a fax machine. Someone's going to take it, and then they're going to put it in the va.gov system for you when it could have just been done weeks earlier. So if you're looking for good help, I would definitely contact us at 858-360-2227. It costs you nothing to have a strategy call. You may as well have that conversation with us. You're going to leave smarter than you came. Eden, go ahead.
Got a question from TikTok from Zulika. She's asking, if I deny surgery, can that affect my VA rating?
If you're denied surgery?
Deny surgery, yeah.
Oh, if you deny it, you decide not to get it. Right. You never have to get surgery. Let's say you're rated for your knee at 20% and they want to do surgery on you. You don't have to get hacked on if it's not in your heart to get that surgery. You may end up moving the 20 to 40 because eventually it's going to end up getting worse, but you don't have to force yourself into a surgery that the VA convinces you have to have. That's absolutely absurd. Don't worry about it. Jade says, I'm at 90% trying to get my last 10% or 50%. I've sent 7 people to you. I just want what's fair. And you absolutely should get what's fair. And I just want to speak to everybody that's at 90%. It's easier to go from 0 to 90 than from 90 to 100. 90 to 100 is a whole new journey. And the VA, because of the way that their diminishing return math works, when you get to 90, you basically have a new 100% to get. So if you're at 85, you actually have like 100 to go. If you're at 90, you need 50 more percent to hit that midline at 95. This is where the strategy comes in. This is where you need people like us that are going to go, okay, hey, look, you have these 3 orthopedics that are underrated. Let's move those from 10s to 20s. Your PTSD is at 30. Let's try to move that to 70. Hey, have you ever thought about getting, neuropathy and radiculopathy attached to your back? This is why you want to have a really good strategy. And I agree with you, Jade. You should get exactly what's fair, and we will make sure that we treat you with kindness and get you across the line. And do we take cases in all states? I'm in Georgia. Yes, we do. We take cases around the world. We help people on bases around the world. We help people transition. We're open 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we absolutely do help veterans everywhere you are. Go ahead.
We've got a few on Instagram. We have Kiva Dior says, what is the cost of your service?
So the cost of our service, there's 3 ways to get involved with VetComm. The first is if you can pay a one-time payment, it will only cost you $11.97. That represents a $900 discount. If you don't have $11.97 today, you can make 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350, whichever serves you best. And the cool news for you is no matter which way you pay, we're starting immediately. We're not going to wait to collect all your money. And the other awesome part is we don't take any back pay. So that's all you ever pay us. And if we can't get you across the line, you get your money back. So it's literally a no risk proposition to you. If we can't help you, you get all your money back. Ben Champion says free claim review. Let's make sure that we reach out to him. Ben, you may also want to text in 858-360-2227 with that same, so that you can pop to the top. Go ahead.
Dylan from TikTok asks, can a veteran that's 100% get a VA home loan?
Every veteran can get a VA home loan. You do get better on your closing costs and other things, your funding fees and things, if you are rated. We always tell people at least get some kind of rating. That way you get some of your benefits, including this lesser cost to get involved with the VA home loan. I would tell you this. I used to work in real estate and coach professionals in every single state across the country. The VA home loan is very easy to qualify for. And we actually have a course when you get signed up with us. We have a whole home buying course, how to utilize the VA home loan. But it's an amazing program. Here in San Diego, I'm excited to tell you that through our partners here, real estate partners, we've made 283 new homeowners. by all the people that we got rated. That's pretty incredible. That's like generational, life-changing kind of stuff.
On Instagram, we have George Reed Jr. asks, I just got rated 10% for tinnitus. Can you help get secondary rated for Meniere's disease?
So there's a million things. Yours is a very specific question. What I would do, especially if you want to speak to me directly about it, text in 858-360-2227. But pretty much anything that we would say is niche, like MS, Meniere's disease, all these things that are not primary things, that are in fact secondary, and likely the VA is going to want to thwart your success. We need to have a very candid conversation with you, see what your actual records look like so that we can actually decide if we can link them in. What we could do is sometimes the symptoms that are inside of this other disease are easily rated, right? So that's where the strategy comes in. If I were you asking that question, I would text 858-360-2227. I'll have the review agent loop me in and we can have that discussion.
We've got another one. We've got Morgan Kinney says, when will we get full dental, including implants? Many vets clench their teeth.
A lot of vets do grind their teeth, clench their teeth, get TMJ. A lot of those things are caused by stress and having PTSD and those types of things. Absolutely, dental can be secondary to many other things. If you'd like us to actually have a conversation about that, again, it's 858-360-2227. Text in free claim review. There's a bunch popping up in front of me. Do you want me to answer these questions?
From YouTube and Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, I can answer them. Let's see.
A lot of questions.
Here, I can read them for you.
I can read them. Is there a Louie on your team? There is. So if Louie, if you're watching, somebody says you received a text and texted a response but didn't hear back, that's very odd. For like, there's a whole team of people literally do that. But Cedric Brooks, can you do me a favor? If right now you text 858-360-2227, someone is watching that right now and someone will get back to you. If I have a doctor's note from my appointment, should I submit them when I do my claim? You only want to submit things in your claim that are relevant to the thing that you're claiming. You don't want to give them a huge stack of evidence. If I were you and you have anybody watching, you have a bunch of things you want to claim and a bunch of evidence, but you're not really sure which way to go, even if you want to do it yourself, I would talk to us first. It's not a hostage situation. You don't have to work with us, but at least say, here's what I have, and we can tell you if it's good or not. Text in 858-360-2227.
All right, I got a question from TikTok from Tommy. He asked, why would the VA deny a claim even with a nexus letter?
So the VA will deny things with a nexus letter, without it, with a DBQ, without it, with a buddy letter. Just truth be known, during COVID, half the claims were just categorically denied because they just didn't have the bandwidth. The PACT Act sent so many people in, they just categorically denied it. They hope that you take the L and walk off. That's what they hope. The VA literally hopes that your veteran anxiety kicks in and you get freaking pissed off and you just leave. So if you're in that situation, show us what you have. We likely can do a supplemental claim and reintroduce some stuff and get you across the line. I would text in 858-360-2227, say free claim review. I have Sherman Baker says, is depression or unspecified severe stress secondary to tinnitus? It can be. Tinnitus makes people absolutely causes lunacy. I had it for a while after my TBI and it drove me freaking batshit crazy. I could not deal with it. It was making me not sleep. It was making me super constantly irritated. So that's definitely something that we can link to it. But there's also other things you can link mental health to that are easier. So I would, again, text in free claim review. Derek Hanaway says, I'm 90% wanting to get to 100. Derek, my best advice to you, sir, is to text in right now and say free claim review. And for those of you just joining us, if you text in free claim review, even if you don't do one, we put you on a list that you were here and you're going to get a discount. There's literally no reason not to text 858-360-2227 so that we can get you on the list, because you'll be surprised. A lot of veterans will watch me today, and then 3 days from now, they're like, you know what, that lady's right. Maybe today is my day and I should get rated. And then you didn't text in and you don't get the discount. Okay. So we want to reward those that were on the live, that you took the time. So text in 858-360-2227. I see Stevie B text in, commented in on YouTube. I would also text just so you pop up to the top of the line there.
On Instagram, we have Carlos RNGL says, I just got my vertigo and TMJ and both came back at 10% each. Is there something that can help raise those percentages?
Any of you that are currently rated for anything, even if it's a 0, A lot of veterans think, oh, I got a 0, so I lost. No, you didn't. They said you have it. It's their fault. So you meet the criteria of having the disability, it being the VA's fault. They said, yep, you got this in service, but it wasn't severe enough not to pay you. Then conversely, like Carlos, you could be at a 10%. They always want to give you the littlest possible. Even if they know you should be at 30, 40, 50, they usually try 10% to see if you'll go, okay, cool, and leave. No, we're not going to leave at 10%. Now, are some things always 10? Yes, of course. Some things are always going to be 10% because that's just the top end rating for it. But a lot of things can go from 10 to 20. A lot of times, rhinitis, sinusitis, they want to give you 0, and we can move it to 20%. Matt Farino said, what is the benefit for free review? So there's 2 benefits. One, we're going to give you a free strategy session. It literally costs you nothing to get all of our free advice. We're going to start at the top of your head, go down to your feet, inside and out, and your mental health, ask you a bunch of questions, scoop together a big enough, body of work. And we're going to say, hey, based on what you told us, here's where I think you should be. And here's how we're going to get you there. And if you want to do it with us, because you were on the live and you texted in free claim review, now you get another discount. So those are the 2 big benefits. You're going to get to chat with somebody for free and get a good strategy call, whether you used us or not. And second of all, you're going to get a good discount to participate with us. And for those of you just joining us, there's 3 ways to get involved. No, we are not a charity. We don't work for free. And I want to tell you the difference between what we do and what everyone else does. There's 4 ways that you could attack making a rating. Way number 1, you do it yourself. If you wanted to do it yourself, you would likely have already done it, or you've hit a wall. I've gone as far as I can. I'm at 80, I'm at 70. I just can't get any further. So you could do it yourself. The second way is you could do it with the free service, DAV, VFW, American Legion. You could go to them, but they're understaffed. Like, to give you guys a little clue at how big we are, we made more claims than all the free services did on the entire Western Seaboard. That's how many claims we make. So our agents are making 8 to 10 claims a day, where these people are likely making about $800, 8 a day. 8 a month. So we're doing 8 to 10 a day. They're doing 8 a month. So we see things way more often. So doing it with VetComm would be the third way that you could do it. And doing it with us, we're going to remove the hassle. We're going to make, from the comfort of your own home, you don't got to leave your house to make your claim. We're going to make sure that you get through the hassle of signing in to Zoom to participate with us, to get on va.gov, to make that intent to file. We're going to make your claim with you online, upload all your stuff so you see it, give you a complete email recap of what we did. Then when it's time for your exams, we're going to prep you one by one by one. If it's your mental health exam, someone's going to prep you. If it's for your back, your orthopedics, whatever it is, we're going to prep you very professionally. If we can't get you rated after 2 tries for the same amount of money, if we can't get you rated after 2 tries, you can get your money back, full refund, or you can go a 3rd round. And for all the 90%ers, you get 3 rounds. There's 3 ways to pay with us. One is $11.97 up front. Way number 2, if you don't have the $11.97, is 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. We take 0 back pay. We take nothing from you in back pay. Then, if you don't go with VetComm, then you can go to one of the lawyers who really aren't supposed to help you unless you've already lost, which that sucks. But they're going to take $5,000 to $15,000, and so are all the sharks. All these other people, I'm not going to bring up their names. You probably know who they are. They're going to charge you 10 to 15 times more than we're going to charge you, and they're going to send you an email and have the audacity to have you make your own claim, and then they're going to try to take your money. We are going to concierge level service you day in and day out. We're open 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we know us veterans, we want someone to talk to. And this is why you want to pay up front. This is why you actually want to pay up front, because when you pay up front, you get to demand to talk to people. When you don't pay up front and it's free up front, no one's answering your call. You're going to sit there in a black hole abyss of your own hate, rage, and anxiety by yourself. You are just a number to them. Here, when you call in pissed off at the VA, somebody's going to get on that phone call. Hey, sir. Hey, ma'am. How can I help? What do you need from me? Who do you need to talk to? Johnny on the spot. So it's like, could you go to Disneyland and get the basic ticket and wait in line all day and ride the ride? Of course you can. And you'll ride about 5 rides, absolutely be pissed off that you went in the first place. Or you could spring a little extra, which would be like working with VetComm. And then you can get the fast pass and go to the front of the line and enjoy yourself and have an easy, hassle-free time. That's the benefit of going with us.
All right.
Go ahead.
I got a question from TikTok. Someone says, can I submit now and intend to file for my BDB, which is October 1st of this year.
Let's see.
Sounds
So we're in
confusing.
April, May, June, July,
October.
August, September, October. Yes. You're right at the cusp of being able to, and we work with a ton of people. It makes up about 20% of our business, helping people transition. Because if we can get you to 90 or 100 on your way out, isn't that the good news for you? Right? Because then you don't have to go battle the VA as a civilian. You can exit. And anyone else, I assume you asked that question because you're not out yet. Come work for VetComm. I want to give a little PSA. We are a skill bridge provider, meaning if you have 6 months or less and you don't want to do your military job anymore and you want to have like runway to take off when you get out, if you go to our website, you can find us. You can find our skill bridge program, VetComm US. You can come here and work in our claims department, help veterans, and have a job the second you get out. A fully spun up job where you get to work with veterans and awesome people every single day. I had Doug ask, is it too late for me? I've been with my lawyer for 4 years. So a lot of people that work with law firms or these other people, you need to, if they're actually attached to, if they're an accredited organization attached to your actual claim, you need to send in a form, which we can help you do, to take them off your form, and you need to send them and tell them, I no longer wish to work with you. But that's something that I would write in about, and then I can look at who you're working with. 858-360-2227.
Afelts29 on Instagram says, so I will be starting your services next week. I'm excited. What are the quals for getting more money from the VA for the burn pit registry issues?
So the burn pit, just like the PACT Act and all these other things, I don't want to say this because it sounds a little callous, but they were marketing ploys, essentially. They basically made a bunch of presumptive things for burn pits, for PACT Act, and they said these are presumptive, meaning if you served there doing this certain job during this time period, so location and era, then we presume that you likely have X, Y, and Z thing, just like they do with the burn pits. So if you're going to make your claims with us, we're going to know that. We're going to know when and where you served and all of those things. We're going to appropriately make your claim. But for all of you who think, oh, I didn't get in the registry, or I didn't, whatever, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. The computer system's going to find when and where you served and decide if you meet the criteria to be presumptive. They really want you to sit at home and go, well, I guess I guess I missed it. I guess I didn't do it. I guess I lost. You didn't lose. You didn't lose. I wouldn't worry about it. And Doug, you answered your question. You said, will I still owe the increase to the lawyer? It depends on how far along you are. It depends on if you're in a higher level review. This is something where if the people on my staff watching, if Doug writes in, make sure that I get to speak with Doug, and I'll see who you're working with, and we'll get that handled for you.
Rob Everson says, I just got the confirmation text. I'll be scheduling soon. What do I need to have on my end when I have my
So what do you
appointment?
need for your first appointment? You need a good attitude to arrive on time and to just basically have your memory. You don't really need to have anything for the strategy call other than the willingness to work through some of these things on the phone with us. You don't have to sign up with us, but what we ask is that you have an open conversation so we can give you a real strategic call. That's what I would say. Come with a good attitude on time and you'll have an excellent call with us.
James says, I'm technically challenged. Do you guys help us older guys that aren't so computer savvy?
Okay, so I am so excited actually that we got asked this. Do you help the older generation that are not so tech savvy? So I actually built this entire company because I started helping people when I owned a car dealership here in Oceanside. A lot of the older population saw my sign on the wall that said veteran owned and operated. And I started helping people. I helped about 200 people get rated before I ever did this company. And I realized that had I not sat with them and helped them sign into va.gov, help them get through the stupid ID.me, login.gov process, they would have just gone, you know what, I guess I'm never going to be able to do it. I created this with them in mind. We help people who are 22. We help people who are 92, 102. We don't care. Our pre-claims, so that you're talking about the pre-claimed people, the pre-claims people on our staff are the most patient, most precious human beings, the backbone of our organization, because they're going to help you get through your anxiety and anger and rage about tech. They're going to get you on Zoom calmly. They're going to get you logged into va.gov. They're going to make sure that you are fully ready to get on with that claims agent. So we get all that BS tech crap out of the way so that your anxiety is low, so that you can go and get that good claim made. So we absolutely do. We have helped people in their 80s, 90s. The oldest guy we helped go from 50 to 100% was 99, and we did it on the phone. So do not worry about the tech. We literally built this company to ensure that every single veteran that we could meet your need.
Can active duty personnel enroll, or how can you help?
Can active duty personnel enroll? Yes, you can. You can absolutely enroll in one of two things. We'd love to have you again in our SkillBridge program. So if you're at the end of your career looking for a new venture, we'd love to have you here at VetComm in our SkillBridge program. But I would say about 20% of our business is people transitioning from the military. And you might think, well, there's somebody on base who will do it for free. Yeah, they're going to look at your medical record that doesn't have a shit from Shinola in it, and you're going to get rated for your tinnitus and your knee. When in reality of PTSD, anxiety, IBS, GERD, Barrett's esophagus, migraines, and all this other stuff. And we're going to say, hey, you got about 6 months left. You need to go to XYZ appointment. Let's go get these papers in. Let's make this claim the first time the right way. So exiting with us, I think, is the most hassle-free way to exit. And not only that, we're going to give you all the advice you need to exit. Exiting's hard. We went out to visit this guy, Mike Dolbo. This story was brought to me. This poor guy, a guy in the Guard, been battling for 38 years, trying to be recognized as a veteran and trying to get what he is owed. And is he? Hi, yeah. Mike. And I sitting there listening to his story, I was just like freaking appalled at how sad it is the way that we transition people. And somebody on my team said, how do so many veterans end up homeless? And I said, imagine being in the military and it's providing your money, your food, your housing, your purpose, your team, like literally everything that you value. And then tomorrow you just don't have any of that. And I said, how would that make you feel if just overnight, go figure it out. Good luck. You were working on tanks today. Good luck going to be a civilian. And that's sort of how it is to transition. That's why we love people to come to us early. If you're in service, we love to have people get into our SkillBridge program, because I firmly believe if we were to transition veterans better, we would not have the level of, that we do, 22 a day of them. We would, look at me being so good. I didn't say the word. I get banned for speaking the truth, like God forbid. We also would not have like the level of poverty. We wouldn't have the level of homelessness that we have. So we would like to help you wherever part of the journey that you're in.
You want to talk about our series with him too?
Yes. 1 second though. So Mike says, absolutely. Thank you guys for the docuseries. I can't wait. I know. Finally be able to get something done in my case. You absolutely will, Mike. We love you so much. And congratulations, by the way. And then I had Teddy here says, I have a crazy anxiety waiting on this decision. My CMP exams completed a month ago. I called today and they said it's still in development stage. Angry face. Any encouragement or advice? I'm actually glad you said this, Teddy. So here's my advice to every veteran. If you're somewhere in the process, whether it's with us or with yourself or some free process, and you are getting on, I don't even have my phone, but you're getting on your phone and like checking. Where am I? Is it yet? Can you hear me yet? Am I rated yet? You are causing yourself more pain, anger, frustration, anxiety than is normal. It's like when you're on dieting, weigh yourself once a week in the morning and that's it. So set yourself maybe 2 alarms, maybe Tuesday, Friday at a certain time. When it goes off, log on and check. Nothing. Okay, great. If you've had your CMP exams, it's been a month, you probably have anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, I would guess, to get your claim adjudicated. It sucks. The longer it goes, you get some more back pay. If you win, you're not losing anything, but you're getting like very frustrated. And I get that, because my first time I waited such a long time. When I did it for myself and got myself from 90 to 100, I actually ended up doing it in about 42 days. I couldn't believe it came back that fast. So I wouldn't worry so much about it. I put a pin in it and forget it and just set your alarm, because you guys are just causing yourself more hassle, and we get kind of pissed off as veterans. So I think to de-escalate ourselves, maybe don't check so much. Go ahead.
On Instagram, we have Morgan Kinney again. She has another dental question. I think this one's a little more specific what she meant. She says, can 100% rated vet get dental implants because they clench their jaw and destroy their teeth?
Ask me the beginning of it again.
Can a 100% rated vet get dental implants because they clench their jaw and destroy their teeth?
So cool news. So a buddy of mine went and just got full mouth crowns and veneers for this very thing. And he's 100%. So that should give you massive hope. I will tell you this, and this is something that my dad told me when I was a kid. It's not necessarily veteran advice, but you do not get anything in life that you do not ask for or apply for. And the worst case scenario is they could say no, but the best case scenario is they say yes. So if you are rated for the thing that's causing this, they are likely to be in your favor, just like they do implants or breast reductions or fat or surgery or bariatric surgery, teeth. All these things can be covered. We just got to find a way in and not a way out. So if you are looking for a way in, maybe get a strategy call, 858-360-2227 and chat with somebody.
I've got a lot on Instagram.
Go ahead.
So we've got Outlook. It too says, have the sleep apnea rating changes happened yet?
Say it again.
Have the sleep apnea rating changes?
The rating changes have not happened yet for sleep apnea. They will be happening in August, and some other mental health changes are coming as well. So if you've been sitting on the bench in the trench for a while and you're thinking, hey, maybe I'll get rated, maybe I won't. If you're going to make a mental health claim, which sleep apnea a lot of times is tied to your mental health, I would do it right now. What are you waiting for? You're losing up to $100 a day. What? Stop watching, start winning. Stop watching, start winning. Stop getting in a rabbit hole of analysis paralysis, and let's have a conversation. 858-360-2227. Ray McCarty says, in your opinion, are headaches the new sleep apnea as far as the VA is concerned? Yes, in a way they are. I am seeing way too many denials lately. I was fortunate at least getting a 0. Well, Ray McCarty, if all you got was a 0, bro, let's have a chat, because zeros mean they said you have it. So you've already proved your case. We just need to help them see that you are disabled by it and it causes you hassle and pain in your life. So write in, let's move that needle on that 0. But yeah, sleep apnea came out and they again, I gave it like tchotchkes to everybody, and then they reeled themselves back and went, oh my God, we went way too far. We're compensating people way too much. Now they're doing all these secondaries. Holy crap. And they basically pulled back just because they got scared of how much they were putting out. They're like an insurance company. So yeah, there's a lot of new things that they're favoring over that. Go ahead.
Martin from TikTok asks, what percentage will that be for sleep apnea? I'm guessing he's saying after August.
After August, if you have a CPAP, they want to give you 0. I'm going to let that hang out in the air for a second, because that's not good news. After August, they want to give you 0. This is not me chirping or being crazy. Go look up the CivDiv or Veteran Info Tap. You'll see the same stuff. These guys are the best of the best. This is where we get a ton of our information. We love these guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want to be sleeping on sleep apnea and your mental health. The last thing you want is a low piddly shit rating for something that you should be rated all the rating and money for. So I would write in right now, get on the list, 858-360-2227. There are people on the line right now waiting for you to write in for this free strategy call. It costs you nothing and gives you everything. It's going to give you all the advice that you need, whether you work with us or not. And I got Bluff and B. If I do skill bridge with you, this is a good question. If I do skill bridge with you, you mean when you do it? When you do skill bridge with us and you want to work with us after, do you offer remote positions? I'm in Nevada. The only place we don't offer remote positions is overseas. You could be in any of the 50 states and you can work for VetComm wherever you are. So if you're stationed here, stationed somewhere else, and you want to go back home and work from home, I would say 90% of our claims agents work from home, from the comfort of their own home. So absolutely, yes, you can. In fact, if you're on the line and you want to help people with claims and you want a decent paying job, working with fun people, helping veterans, write in and say, I'd love a job, 858-360-2227.
Carlos again on Instagram says,
hello, Carlos.
As per my Vertigo and TMJ being rated at 10%, is an HLR the way to go? You guys are the ones that helped me with my case.
No, if we've already helped you and you've won. So this is how we work. If we have helped you and you won, so you moved the needle, you got rated, whatever it is, every round you do out after us is only $500. So if you're not satisfied with what they gave you and you want to do another round, we'll move to make those more, but we'll also do a bunch of secondaries and probably some stuff we didn't do the first time that you might not have even thought of. So you may want to consider doing another round. Right back in 858-360-2227. Say, hey, it's me, Carlos. I'm one of your former clients, and I'd love to have a chat with you. Go ahead.
I'm drawing questions for TikTok. Rachel, is there anything else from Instagram?
Let me see. I've got a few here.
Go ahead.
For the second round of 500, do we do that a payment plan for that as well?
We don't do payment plans for that. We are considering doing it. We don't have it yet. We're about to move to a new CRM, sort of a new software system that'll allow us more by way of those payment plans. So it is something that we are considering. But if you're one of our customers now and you're needing another round, I would just write in and talk to us and see if there's something that we can figure out together. You don't need to be waiting. Let's have a chat.
T-Wife says, my husband is 100% IU, but his PTSD is at 70%. They said it is PNT. What does that mean, and what is he entitled to?
Okay, so to everyone who is IU, if you're on the unemployability schedule, all this means is that they are paying you the difference between wherever you are. So let's say you're at 70, but if you have IU, they're paying you at 100. So you're getting the financial benefit of being at 100, but you're not actually at 100%. Getting to 100% PNT in total of all of your things gives you a completely different benefit set. So you and your husband may want to have a chat with us to see if we can just get him the regular standard 100% PNT so you guys can get everything that you're owed. But they will have a conversation, 858-360-2227.
On Instagram, we have RaftusCM1 says, can I reapply with you guys? You got me from 60 to 90.
Yes, you can. I would write in right now, 858-360-2227, and let's get you back in for your next round.
Justin Time says, I was SC 0% GI problem, diagnosed GERD May 15th, will be a year from my decision. I'm creating a supplemental now. Do you have any advice?
My best advice is you got a lot going on and a lot of balls and plates spinning at the same time. If I were you, I would get a strategy on that. And when you write in free claim reviews, say, speak with Kate. So 858-360-2227, because it's a little bit complicated and I want to make sure you get your true answer.
T-Wife also says, what is the VA going to do about AFF exposure, PFAS?
So this is also a long answer. Write in and say you want to talk to me. 858-360-2227. I try not to answer super nuanced stuff here because there's so many people watching and it will bog down the chat, but I will answer your question if you write in. 858-360-2227.
Metal77F says, can I personally talk to you about MST?
Yes, you can. I every day talk to 3 to 5 veterans. So little background on me. I served in the Marine Corps. I was a 2621. I was an intel analyst. And when I was in the service, I had a very unfortunate thing happen to me that I'm not allowed to say that starts with an R. So I was assaulted, and it could have been very bad. And it was very bad, but it could have been more mentally taxing for me. I had a trauma-free childhood, so that kind of set me up a little bit better. I think that when you have childhood trauma, it makes it hard for you, harder in some way. And I got rated for PTSD, but not the MST portion of it, because I didn't believe that they would see any value in it or ever give it to me until my very last round. That's what took me to 100. I moved the PTSD to the personal trauma. And I will tell you, not only did I get closure, I got to 100%. It made me realize the value in having an organization that does training on MST. I train all the staff how to talk to people who have been through this, because it's very difficult and it's very oppressive to sit there with it alone and nobody believes you, and you have to think, well, I don't have any evidence or I don't have whatever. We'll find the evidence. We will get you rated for that MST. So I would absolutely love to talk to any of you that have had MST and you need our help. And this would surprise you to know as well that I would say 35 to 40% of our male clients in some way have some MST, depending on the service that you are in. It might not be full R, but there's a lot of different things that can happen in your service period that fall under personal trauma. Go ahead.
On Instagram, Herbert Ayala says, I'm being tested for sleep apnea next week at a VA clinic. This should help my claim.
It definitely will help your claim. Hopefully you have the sleep apnea, and the study shows that it will end up in your My Healthy Vet record. But you want to make an intent to file right now, Herbert. Call us, 858-360-2227. Let's make the intent then before you go to the thing. Have the piece of evidence, because they see the chain of events. You want them to favor in your favor. Look, I already intended to make a claim, and then you tested me for it, and then I won. I hate to say that that's how they look at things, but they're an insurance company. Okay, so if I were you, I'd have a conversation with us, and let's make sure that you win that sleep apnea.
JV on TikTok asks, is there a charge for your service?
So for those of you joining us late, I have to think you joined us late. I covered it a couple times, but I want to cover it again for everybody that just joined. There is a charge for our service, barely. I would say that there's like free, there's fleece, and then there's fee. And our fee is teeny tiny. So we charge no back pay. That's one cool thing. Everybody else charges 5-6 times of some moving target number that ends up being $10,000 to $15,000 to send you an email and do nothing. We only charge a one-time upfront fee that comes with a money-back guarantee. So it's literally no risk to you. If you have the money to pay up front, it's $11.97 once. If you don't, it's 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. If I were you, I would text in right now because there's an additional discount on that upfront payment, 858-360-2227. And the reason, again, that you want to go with somebody who charges only a small fee up front is because now you get to expect us to call you back. Now you get to expect good service. Now you can call pissed off at the VA and somebody's actually going to pick up the phone and talk to you. All these free services, they're not going to call you back. They're not going to submit shit for you. They're not going to do anything. They're going to wait for you to do the work, and then they're going to get paid. And to me, as a Marine Corps veteran, that's absolutely the most ridiculous thing. If you're a veteran running one of these companies and you feel comfortable charging 5 to 6 times a veteran's increase, you are the enemy and you are a shark, and it's not a wonder that people don't like you. I said what I said. Said it. What else do we have? I have a bunch here.
New Life says, I have 100% PNT, but I have issues like seizures and bad migraines. Should I put in a claim to get a rating or just leave it where it's at?
Any of you that are 100% PNT and there are things that you are not rated for yet, 2 things. One, you always want to add the things that could cause your demise because you want to make sure that those things are rated so that your family can get your DIC benefits. We handle that all the time. It probably only makes up 5% of our business, but veterans are like, everybody says not to do it. And I agree. There's things we will not touch. If your mental health's already at 70, we are not going to touch it. We're going to find other ways to help you out. But if you feel like, hey, you're having seizures and you're having other things that are not memorialized, yes, we want to memorialize it. And we will put together a strategy to make sure it's done where it doesn't affect your rating. Does VetComm provide Nexus or medical opinion letters? I'm so glad you asked this because I was about to address it anyway. So I want you to first think about Nexus letters for a second and think if you even heard about Nexus letters before about 5 years ago. Did you even hear about this? Hardly at all. But you know what happened? An industry was created around Nexus letters. And they cost anywhere from $750 to $2,000. And most of these places are mills. They're not your doctor. They are on a list at the VA that the VA is going to look up that doctor and see if they're just a mill. They're going to realize that they didn't see you. It is not your doctor. They were incentivized financially to write you this letter, and they're not going to take a very hard look at that piece of evidence. Not only that, this Nexus letter is going to be 2 or 3 pages. Nobody wants to read that. What they do want is a DBQ, a disability benefits questionnaire. When you work with us, we will help you fill out the DBQ. All your doctor needs to do is fill in a tiny little thing and sign it. The VA, the VSO, the rating people, they love a DBQ because they know where everything lives on the form. You can get your doctor to do it at a regular doctor's visit. Okay, you won't get the VA to do it. But the VA, they already put it in your medical record probably, so you don't even need the thing. So you got to think this. If there's a whole industry built around Nexus letters, do you really who do you think did this? These companies did, and so did the VA. Because if they can keep you believing that if you don't have a Nexus letter, you will not win, you will not make a claim. Because if you can't afford our help, you're not going to afford a freaking Nexus letter, right? So don't try to come to us perfect. Don't go to the door of the VA perfect because it's never going to happen. It's like chasing the wind, okay? Bring us what you have. Let us repackage and repurpose it into the thing you need. I would say that we get a ton of people done with almost no evidence. I'm telling you right now, DBQs are the path in. They love a DBQ. It's so easy for your doctor to help you with. It's very simple. You can even fill it out yourself. So we will definitely help you there. Okay, so I want to speak to something really quick before we hop off. I want to talk to everyone watching. I have to imagine that you are watching right now because you're considering whether you should get more from the VA, whether you should touch your record, whether you should make a claim, whether you should try to flip a denied claim. And you've been watching a lot of content and researching and stacking things up and bookmarking things. And then you saw, oh, they're going live. I'm going to listen to this lady too. And then tomorrow I'm going to listen to someone else. Please stop doing that. Please get off the bench, get out of the trench. You guys are missing out on almost $100 a day. And us as veterans, the veteran community, you need that money for you and for your family. We got a guy rated who said, this is going to sound crazy, but I can now afford the good cheese. It made me cry. You couldn't afford, like, it makes me emotional even thinking about it. You can afford the good cheese. We have people like buying new trucks. We have people going on vacation, people putting roofs on their house. What are you waiting for? There is no perfection. There is no better help than VetComm. Stop waiting and start rating. Stop watching, start winning, right? We want to have a winning conversation with you, and we want to do it for free. We want to bless your life with at least a conversation. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what to do right now. It's been a long time since somebody told you what to do, since you're in the military, probably, that you took very seriously. Write in right now before I get off, or you're not going to get on the list. Write into 858-360-2227. 858-360-2227. Put free claim review. Even if it's not your season this week, it will be next week or next month, and we will have your information and we will give you a discount. Stop living in this weird, branded, broken life, and let us just take all this crap and deliver it to the VA and get you compensated. It's not as hard as you think. The last question, I'm 70% PTSD. Cardiologist is trying to find out if my heart scarring is due to PTSD stress or to toxic exposure. Is taking forever. Can I just file a secondary to PTSD? You can file a secondary to PTSD. We can also take a look at what you have and see if there's a direct correlation to when and where you served and what you did for your job, and go ahead and make that claim directly tying it to your service. It kind of depends on what you have. I would write in 858-360-2227. Stop waiting and start rating. Today is your day. Today is your day. Go and get everything that you are owed. Not what you deserve, because if you believed you deserved it, you would have done it a long time ago. Go get what you're owed. Remember, the VA is an insurance company. They have your money. I'm still in. I have a bad ankle pain and have been in physical therapy for 6 months. I had an MRI done. It doesn't show tendonitis, which they thought I had. What can I do? They've already memorialized the fact that you have a bad ankle. I would write in right now and let somebody look at what you have and have a chat with you. If they've already memorialized, it was probably event driven. You probably did something that we can get you rated for. Don't let this active duty service exit strategy crap you out. Okay. We'll get you rated for it. 858-360-2227. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Sayonara, ladies and gentlemen. PM, I'm in the same boat. Nobody in the company said anything about a DBQ. They might not have thought you needed one. Vic bad, but if you want to write in right now and talk to somebody, you're more than welcome to. 858-360-2227. Okay. All right. Bye.